Brian Lisa, the EVP at Automation and Smart Building Solutions at Belden Inc. Welcome to the show, sir. We are privileged to have you here today and to spend a few minutes with us to discuss about what Belden is doing in India and also globally and how Indian market is important for Belden's operations. To start off, may I ask you, you play a pivotal role in shaping global strategy as the EVP Automation and Smart Building Solutions. Can you share a bit about your role, your journey in Belden, and what drives your passion for Belden's growth worldwide?
Sure. Well, first, thank you for having me today. I'm looking forward to our conversation. As you said, my role is leading the automation and smart building solutions businesses globally for Belden. What that means is those two businesses are focused on automation markets like energy, mass transportation, discrete manufacturing, as well as hospitality and healthcare. And we're bringing network and data solutions to those markets. We're about a $2 billion global business in revenue. I've been with Belden for about 16 years. It's been a great journey for me. And what's most exciting, I think we'll talk about, is the last few years, we're really transforming Belden into a solutions company. And that's really, it's really rewarding both for how we're serving our customers in a new way, but also for our employees in Belden. And I think to your question about what really energizes me about our future and our growth strategy is our customers are facing all sorts of challenges. There's an explosion of data, the need for more productivity, a lot of complexity in their network and their connectivity issues, and they're just getting more complex with the needs to do things like machine learning and agentic AI. And so what's really exciting for us at Belden is we have the ability to help our customers both with our people and our knowledge of their challenges and issues, but also with the technologies and the products that we can bring to help them. So we see it a really great time for us where we can really help our customers be more successful.
Right, good. How would you describe Belden's global growth strategy today?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, today in the past, Belden has been more of a product company. We have great products, great brands, really good technology, and all the products that really make up the components of a network solution. But today, our strategy that we started a few years ago is to bring all those capabilities together and then engage with the customers in a different way, much earlier in the process, where we're talking to them before they know what they need. Where we used to be responding to them for products they already knew they wanted. Now we're asking about what are your network challenges? What are your metrics that you're challenged with? What are you doing with your data? And then helping them design solutions for that. So we're really transforming Belden from selling just products, which we still want to do it and are very good at because they're the foundation of our solutions, but really moving to this more consultative selling model where we're engaging and helping our customers design the solutions that they're going to need around their network infrastructure.
So instead of, giving something or from the customer's point of view, taking something off the shelf, you are trying to customize solutions for the customers, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're doing, right?
to some degree, that's somewhat true. That's somewhat could be a challenge. So if everything was customized, it'd be very hard to scale the business and really work with more customers and more verticals. So within a vertical, we try to scale the solution. In other words, say in a railway application where we're doing trackside signaling applications. Now, say 70 to 80% of that can be common between customers. And then there's maybe 20% that we need to customize. But part of our strategy is to make sure we understand our customers' needs and use cases, develop solutions that we can then repeat to other customers going forward.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, good, good. So what are some of the biggest global trends driving demand for connectivity, automation, and network solutions across industries?
Yeah, so there's quite a few things that really are driving the need for for more connectivity, more robust network solutions. They include things like I mentioned before, the explosion of data, right? There's not only a higher volume of data, but it's moving at a faster speed and at different types of varieties. So this data is becoming more complex. There's more volume. It's moving faster. That's driving the needs for more robust and secure network infrastructures that our customers then can use. Um, Globally, there's issues with labor challenges, right? And having the labor you need to be running your business, running your factories. And so that's driving the need for more automation, more autonomous equipment on the factory floor. There's growing needs for electricity and critical infrastructure, and that plays a lot into our markets as well. So there's lots of different things happening, and one of the things that is probably most recent is that our customers are needing to converge their IT network and their OT network. So traditionally, you would have separate networks that weren't connected for running your operations and running your IT. Our customers really need to bring those together to take advantage of things like agentic AI and really be able to be more productive and competitive and take advantage of a lot of the new technology and software applications that are out there. And so this IT OT convergence is a developing space where our customers are heading and really need these strong network infrastructure solutions that we can provide.
And how strong are you in that kind of an integrated offering integrated solutions?
Yeah, you know what? It's a good question because as we look at out of an isolated network, right, you have lots of players that are selling products, whether it's into an OT network or into an IT network. But when you start to move those networks together and converge, there's very few companies that really can provide what Belden can do. So we think we're far ahead of people in the verticals we play in because the verticals we really choose to focus on have a high degree of vertical speciality. So things like energy and electricity distribution, railways, automated warehousing. These are where you have very unique vertical needs around the OT systems that when you combine them with the IT, takes a special player like Belden to really play it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, unless and until you can offer those integrated services, people always tend to, go to different people for different things, right? So if you have, one-stop solution being provided by somebody, that's something that's always beneficial for a customer, isn't it?
It sure is. And that's where we see our customers really wanting to engage with us in this new way where we're engaging early and helping them design the solution because as these things become more complex and they're also challenged to find the expertise within their own organizations or others that really understand some of these challenges and some of these application specific things. They're looking for companies like Belden that can really help them, they can trust, and we can work together kind of in their journey. It's usually not a one time and you're done. You're usually building the network and capability as they go through digitization to autonomy and then eventually to using things like AI.
So, so where does India fit into Belden's global strategy and long-term roadmap?
Yeah, it's very important. And it's so good to be here. And I'm sitting here in Bangalore,
Back.
and it's a great to be here. I've come now to India quite often because India is a super important part of our global strategy. And I would say it's kind of in two dimensions. That's true. So the first is that India is a very attractive market, right? It's a fast-growing economy. There's a lot of great investments being done by the government, like Digital India and smart cities and critical infrastructure and around transportations and roads and highways. So it's a great market, and more things are coming, like discrete manufacturing is growing, semiconductor. So it's really a fantastic opportunity in the markets that we focus on to really help customers here and help the government as this economy continues to grow. But it's also the second dimension. It's also very important in our global strategy. So Belden's invested significantly in India over the last 10 years. And in fact, tomorrow I'll be in Pune opening the second phase of our manufacturing facility. So we've doubled the size of our manufacturing footprint in Pune, and we're going to have an opening ceremony tomorrow to celebrate that. So we opened our first facility about 6 or 7 years ago. We're now more than doubling the size of that because of the growth of India. We want to make sure we're supporting our customers locally, but also as a regional hub to support customers around Asia Pacific. We've also invested significantly in our engineering center here. We have over 300 engineers alone in India working on global products, but also working on localization of products for the Indian market. And then I'm sitting in this beautiful customer innovation center we have here in Bangalore, where a place where we can bring customers in and really they can experience what does it mean for Belden to do solutions? What does that look like? And then we can co-innovate with them and do customer demonstrations, but also to proof of concepts and validation of their network systems here in our facility here. So really, like I said, in two dimensions, we've been here. We're going to be here. We're continue to invest here to be part of the growth of India, but also it's an important part of our global strategy to impact our business around the world.
So, having said that, may I ask you, from your perspective, what really makes India a priority market for Belden compared to other geographies?
Well, I think one of the things I mentioned was the growth, right? So there's a lot of infrastructure, right, being built in India compared to maybe some other places around the world where we saw China build a lot of infrastructure from maybe the mid 90s to 2015 to 2020, and now that's kind of settled down. India's right behind that and is really building infrastructure, which is really important markets for us. So on a kind of a critical infrastructure, public infrastructure standpoint, India is an attractive place for us to be, and we think we have the capabilities to really help the country, right, kind of in this investment as they continue to improve and invest in their public infrastructure. But I think also because we've been here for a while, we have really strong teams here and very strong connections to Indian companies. And so I think having that access and that trust that we've built over time gives us a lot of confidence and opportunity to grow in the future.
So could you tell us what are the areas? Infrastructure is a huge, segment. Which are the areas that you're focusing on where you think there is value proposition for your customers and any new areas that you are looking at?
Yeah, so I think two of the key areas around infrastructure for us is all around transportation. So one of our strengths is helping customers around building new metros and railways and ensuring they're doing that so they can be efficient, productive, and safe. And so bringing those networking technologies to help that. The other one I would say is around energy. So, as I said before, there's a growing demand for electricity. And so there's lots of expansion of the generation of energy, but then also transmission and bringing that to where the energy needs to be used. And that becomes more and more complicated, right, as you're doing that. So we provide the network backbones and communication systems to ensure the grid is working efficiently and is balanced in how it operates. So I'd say those are two critical ones. And then I would say on the public infrastructure side around things like healthcare and hospitality, we do more and more network systems to help hospitals be more efficient, understand where their assets are as they try to improve patient care and patient outcomes. The network technology is becoming more and more important as part of that. And then in the hospitality industry, right, as you have more more business travel and more tourism, making sure the customer experience in a hotel or in a resort, using technology and having that network infrastructure is also very important.
Now, you said a little while ago that you're opening this facility or expanded facility in Pune. Could you please run us through about what exactly it means for the Indian market and Indian customers?
Yeah, well, so the primary purpose, right, is to serve the Indian market and to be able to manufacture all of our products in Pune for the Indian market. So what you find is a lot of companies will have factories that will manufacture one product, right? And you have to get products from multiple factories to put a solution together. So really, when you think about Pune, you could think of it as a solution factory where we will make things from our passive product portfolio, like the wire and cable, the physical infrastructure, cord sets, connectors. But we're also doing active things like network switches, routers, firewalls, backbone, and we're doing a lot of development of the software here in India as well. So when you put that passive stack on the active stack and then the software stack, that's the whole solution. We'll be able to do a complete solution for Indian customers here in India.
So, why did you choose Pune, if I may ask you? Was it because of the government's ease of doing, or was it because of the location, talent? What is the reason
Yeah,
for
I
you to
think it
pick
was
Pune?
really primarily a combination of um, the location, right, is a good location for us. Similar companies, similar uh,
Ecosystem is there. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, exactly exists in that area. And then the people, the talent is there as well for us to be able to have in our plant.
okay. So, beyond being a customer market, do you also see India as a hub for innovation, manufacturing, and talent within Belden's global ecosystem?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, as I mentioned before, in the two dimensions, right? India is an important part of our strategy for the local growth, but also for our global strategy and innovation. So we do a significant amount of our global engineering around our products and technology here in India. That's around our active products, our software platforms. We do a significant amount here, and that's not just for India, right? That's for our global market. So we see, the talent here and the people here are contributing to our global strategy.
So, there's some question that often, keeps cropping up during my conversations with the industry people is that, even though India is known for its educational systems and all that, there is a certain amount of skepticism that, when people pass out of engineering colleges and all that, they are not ready to be, employed. They needed some kind of a bridge course or, an orientation and all that. Do you see that kind of a thing happening in your industry when you hire people?
I think what we've seen is we used to see more turnover, and that might be kind of a result of what you talk about people not being ready and not being satisfied. I think in the last few years, that has come down quite a bit for us. But I think that's more about Belden's approach to finding talent and bringing them on and how we onboard them and get them involved and engaged in what we're doing and our strategy. I think the team here in India has done a fantastic job of making that a good experience and a high engagement. And so we don't see a lot of that now. I think we do a good job in that recruitment process to find that talent. And then once we have them, to keep them engaged and have them see how they can not only impact the results today for Belden, but contribute and have a good career development path going forward.
Okay. So, in terms of innovation, can you please tell us any one or two offerings or products or services that Belden is really proud of having emanated from the Indian talent pool that you have, which has really, made a mark in the global market? Some one or two instances about something that you have really cracked.
Yeah, sure. So So one of the important areas that we invest a lot in India, we have a lot of innovation here, is in our network switches. So one of our core elements of our network solution is our Ethernet switches, and I would say from the OT space, we're one of the global leaders in that space. And we've been working with our engineering teams here in India for a long time, developing the firmware, right? So the embedded software that's running those switches, a significant portion of that is developed here in India. And so while it's hard to see that, right, because it's embedded software, or I call it firmware, it's in every product. It's in every
Yeah.
product that goes everywhere around the world. It's in our Hirschman brand, which is one of the most successful industrial Ethernet brands in the market. I would say that's one example, but we've also kind of one of the newer products that we've developing and you'll continue to hear about in the future is a software platform we call Belden Horizon, which is really providing our customers a single interface into their network where they can understand what's happening in their network, do network analytics and insights, manage their network. We have uh, this metric we call overall network effectiveness, ONE. It's kind of like OEE, if you're familiar with that for a machine, which is overall equipment effectiveness. But this is about the network. So you have this window into how your network is performing and allows you to use AI to run insights around the data that's flowing through your network and do this all in a secure way. The Belden Horizon platform, a significant part of that is being developed here in India as well.
So, earlier you talked about data. I mean, how you can use data, for, inventing and, offering solutions and all that. Data is also a very sensitive thing, for many people, right? I mean, proprietary data and all that. How do you ensure that, the data that is shared with you, is used for, the purposes that it is meant to be and, it's not, how do you ensure the security of the data? I mean,
Yeah.
how do
So
you?
there's different layers to this, right? So we don't consume our customers' data, right? The data moves through that, and that has to be
Yeah.
secure from cyber threats and all those kind of things. So we embed security features into our products that our customers use, things like virtual LANs, right? Where you can do network segmentation, like network access control, where you can limit who can go into your network and what they can do. Firewall technology so that you can have your networks separated and air gap. So we do things like that within the physical or the not necessarily the physical. Some of that is physical, but within the network capabilities that we provide, security is a critical thing. And it's like an ante, right? Like customers need to feel secure as they want to move data to the edge into the cloud. It becomes even more critical. And so we have to have those capabilities built into our offering. But then we're also, as a company, we do secure development processes. So there's IEC 62443, I think it is, which is a secure development process to ensure what we're developing in our own software and things is done in a proper manner and is done securely. And then there's ISO 27001. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's how the kind of the cybersecurity and how you manage data across your entire organization is becoming more and more on our customers' minds. We see them asking for that in RFPs and things. They want their suppliers to be certified to that. So there's a few different areas of the security and the cybersecurity that are important.
From a country perspective, I mean, how do you look at the regulatory and legal, architecture that India has at the moment? Is it conducive, or does that need refinement or any change that is required, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's probably not an area of expertise for me, so I'm not sure I can do a great job answering that. I
Yeah.
know that we're very active across the globe, and because we have to make sure we're understanding the unique requirements in the different regions. Like Europe has a new standard coming out in the next 18 months or so. There's different requirements in North America and the US. And so we have to stay close to our customers in all our markets. I can't speak to the exact standards here in India for cybersecurity.
How do you envision Belden balancing global expertise with local investment to support India's infrastructure and enterprise growth?
So yeah, we're a global company, and we take a global approach. So we don't when we think about our innovation, for example, our innovation teams are global teams. So we have, like I said, we have a large team in India, but they're working with our teams in the United States, with our teams in Europe, to develop products. So they're global products, and India is going to continue to be a very important part of that development. So, is it's we have country specific strategies around how do we engage customers, how do customers want to be engaged. Sometimes some of the products have to be a bit unique or meet certain certifications. So we kind of take a more local approach for that, but we take a global approach, I would say, to our business and our business strategy and how we're innovating and developing new technologies.
So, in your expansion, I mean, what's next for India?
Well, I would say from a Belden's perspective,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I'm very excited that we're opening the next phase, right, of our Pune plant. So driving growth. It's now we have this beautiful plant, and we've got room to expand and to do full solutions there. So our local teams, we're continuing to invest in our local teams here to engage more customers in our verticals to support them as they go through their IT/OT convergence in other areas. So we're going to continue to invest across our sales, our customer innovation center, our solution consultants, and our R&D in India. Because as I said, we've been here, we're here now, and we're going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah. You are in it for the long run,
That's
so
right,
to speak.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mr. Lisa, thank you so much for spending time with us today, for giving those absolutely fantastic insights about what Belden is doing, not only for India, but for the global markets as well. If there is anything that I've missed out asking you, if you would like to say something, please go ahead.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I think we covered all the great topics, great questions, and it was really my pleasure to be here. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Have a great stay in India. Looking forward to Belden growing from strength to strength in India, in the years to come.
Excellent. Me as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.